Meth and marijuana in Montana. Mayhem, mayhem, mayhem in the mountains. Mayhem in the mountains. By the way, side note, Montana looks beautiful. Not the cities, but you know, the trees and the forest and all the lush, lush greenery. It's very verdant. It's bucolic, really. Looks amazing. Probably really inexpensive to buy a house, don't you think? Don't you think? Don't you think? Yeah, she agrees. So, Drugs Inc. What is the episode called? Meth Boom in Montana, or Meth Boom Montana. And there is some booming meth going on there. You can make ducats selling meth. Unless, you know, you think it's immoral or something, or don't want to go to jail or prison. So, first things first. Right, the guy was, the cop was talking about helping the city, to make the city that he's working in the beginning of Drugs Inc. Meth Boom Montana go dry after taking down a big-time meth dealer, right? Why is it so good to do that? Question, copper. Is this the cops, is this you copper? Is this the cops' way of thinking they're helping addicts go cold turkey and kick the habit? Right? No more meth for a few months. All of a sudden, all the meth heads are going to kick the habit, and they're not going to be meth heads anymore. The demand will not evaporate because the users did not actually get help, you know, as in counseling, as in jobs, you know, all that stuff. But the supply will inevitably reappear despite the cops' best efforts. Magically appear, maybe because of tens and thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars of profit. Oh, also a little bit of a side little deal here. How awkward or kind of strange for the camera person who's filming the addicts shooting up, right? The crew, the camera people having to sit there and talk to this woman or man as they're shooting up heroin or meth into their veins, smoking, etc. I mean, isn't that weird? Don't you want to give them a hand or run out of there screaming? Quote, long winters, boredom, and isolation fuel Montana's huge demand for drugs. People are bored everywhere, and being geographically isolated does not cause a person to use meth or other hard drugs, right? Don't you agree? I mean, does it really matter? Are people that bored that they're going to get addicted to drugs, especially meth, and then start ripping their skin off their bodies? People use hard drugs in this country. People use hard drugs in this country regardless of where they live, right? I mean, Montana is just another state. Just like the rest of the country that's full of people who like to use meth, who like to use heroin, who like to use cocaine, who like to use crack, who like to use pills, and some marijuana, which is a plant and should be legal to smoke and consume in brownies and cookies. Another difference in Montana to a lot of other states, but not some, is the Native Indian or Native American population, which is a whole other ball of wax, a whole other conversation, right? I'm sure you are well aware of the high alcohol use on reservations and on Indian land, maybe, you know, as well as obviously meth. Maybe has something to do with, you know, no jobs, no money, crappy schools, no hope, so let's drink and smoke meth. But you know what? That's another conversation for another YouTube video. Next one. Oh, cops, they're battling to keep meth off the streets. Coppers, you'll never win this war because there are too many people pining for their meth, pining for it. So, you know, your salaries, your pensions, all the overhead, the cars, the equipment, the technology that's being used and deployed to catch the meth dealers is really not going to do very much. Don't you agree? Do you agree? I think you agree. She agrees. Yeah, because the drugs are going to keep flowing. So instead of, why don't we get to the heart of the issue here, right? Instead of flooding the streets with more cops or having cops waste their time trying to find the drug dealers, why don't we look at things as lack of jobs, underfunded schools, overworked employees, the rate of inflation outpacing the rise in income or no rises in income whatsoever. So making less money but working more hours and blah blah blah. Oh, the other part, the last part of the documentary TV show, Drugs Inc., the Bakken region oil fields have apparently, which I never heard of, this place created a boom for people in Montana, northern Montana, what was it? Was it eastern North Dakota, I believe, and Canada. So apparently droves of young men are moving to these areas, making lots of cash, right? Because there's a lot of money to be made working in the oil fields, and having a fair amount of downtime, right? Work a lot of hours, and then after all that hard work, go back to your little homes and chill out. So according to one of the Great Falls, Montana, well, one of the Great Falls police officers, there's idle time. There's idle time. I mean, what are you going to do with your downtime, right? So he's implying in this comment that the young men that are coming to work in the oil fields and make a lot of money, obviously they have off hours, but they're obviously going to turn to smoking meth, right? I mean, what else would you do? You can't read a book. You can't watch hours of television. You can't go online and watch my video. You can't maybe go hang out at the bar, make some new friends, write in a diary. I don't know. I guess if these guys are working on the oil fields, maybe they don't like doing any of that stuff and they prefer meth. What do you think? I like this episode. Another good one.